I am RTO. I'm an educational streamer, YouTuber, summoner school mentor, one-trick pony with over 5,000 games with Renekton. I am considered one of, if not the best Renekton players in the world. When I get target banned or forced to autofill, things don't go so well. No! Yes! Oh! Fuck! No! Are you kidding? Oh my god, I can't last hit.
Oh, they have Diana. Oh god. No! Oh!
That was the worst mechanics ever. I misclicked that so hard. I'm on a mission to fix that by learning every champ in the game and being coached by the best players in the world. This is my journey. RTO here, and today we'll be learning Talon. We are here with Aatrixx. He is a Talon main. He plays on the EUS server. Very, very good Talon player. Aatrixx, introduce yourself, man.
Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Aatrixx, and I've been playing Talon since Season 7, once he actually did get reworked from the previous iterations of Talon through Season 1, Season 6. And I do play a bit of Fizz and some occasional Zed, but mostly Talon. Now, I've been playing the game since Season 4, and obviously I peaked in different ranks and stuff like that, but pretty much this season I peaked Diamond 1, and I also have a Diamond 4 account, so I know a lot of things about Talon. Hopefully today I'll be able to teach RTO how to play Talon, and also how to be effective with him as well. I just really like the idea of trying to carry as best as possible in the early game, because obviously RTO, I know you had to experience this before, is that whenever you do play ranked, especially in the high ladder, people tend to open mid, or they tend to just kind of like int or feed early in the game, and that really puts off most players. So if I get to play an early game champion who can excel in the early game to get that lead going so that we can actually win before 20 minutes, then obviously my job will be done. I'll be able to get some free LP for myself as well.
Hey, free LP, I like that. I definitely like that. So, besides his early game, what other strengths does Talon have?
Talon's actually a very versatile champion when it comes to playstyles and stuff like that, and his strengths as well. During level 1, you want to try and poke with your W, and then once you actually get your level 2 power spike, if you can get it before they get their level 1, you can just jump in with your Q, try and use your W, and then actually proc the passive so that you can get an early first blood kill. Obviously, Talon's notorious for that meme with the 25% first blood kill, which obviously isn't true, but it was just a whole meme about it. So you can see that Talon has a really good strength when it comes to the early game. And then once you get to level 6, you can then go for an all-in, and then after that, you can pretty much just split push and go for roams and just try and carry your teammates throughout the game. One of the biggest weaknesses when it comes to Talon is in the early game, because he is melee, he does often get poked down by most range mid laners. So, mages or, assassins like LeBlanc and Zoe. He does tend to take a lot of poke damage, but as long as you have Corruption Potion, or you just know how to use your mana a lot more better, because a lot of people tend to waste their mana with their Ws instead of going for last hits, and not often using the Q last hit for the HP regen. They tend to take a lot of poke damage. And another weakness for Talon, I would say, is definitely his combat mobility. So obviously he's notorious for his out of combat mobility. Once he's actually in combat, he doesn't have that ability to just jump around other than his ulti and maybe his Q. If you compare to a champion like Katarina, LeBlanc, Zed, Fizz, all these different types of assassins have great in combat mobility, but not so much with Talon. So if you don't actually one-shot your target, you're often going to die. So it's really important to actually know when to jump in and when not to jump in. So Talon is versatile because of his early game strengths. It makes it so that he can actually fit to most comps other than, I would say, the Protector AD carry comp. But other than that, he can play into most comps. And because obviously his versatility in terms of playstyle, he can enable certain champions in the game. So for example, if you're playing with a late game scaling AD carry, what you can actually do is in the early game, you can obviously buy a timeout, shove out the lane, and then look to roam bot lane and try and get that person ahead as much as possible so that they can get their 3-item power spike, and then you guys can just pretty much win the game off that. If you're in an early game team comp, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to kill the target and just help out your other team players if they're playing an early game champion, like maybe Kha'Zix, Shaco, or the top lane you got Renekton, bot lane you got someone like for example Draven. You know, if you can actually help these early game champions, you guys can just pretty much just win the game before 20 minutes. So here we go with the runes, guys. So pretty much what you want to go for Talon, there's two specific rune pages that you can go on Talon. Mostly the one I'm going to talk about first is 9% of your games, and the other 10% of the time is going to be a different one. So for the main one, what you want to do is go Domination as your main tree, and within that you want to take Electrocute as your main keystone. This is going to give you that extra damage in the early game, especially with your combo. So it's very important that you do take Electrocute. Obviously, I have tried other ones like Predator and Dark Harvest, but they're not too effective, especially when compared to Electrocute. So make sure to take Electrocute for the extra damage. After that, you want to take Sudden Impact, then Eyeball Collection, and then for the last rune, it's very versatile, and you can actually take any rune that you want depending on the situation. If, for example, you're going to be taking QSS, Edge of Night, Ghostblade, you can go Ingenious Hunter so that the active item CDR is lowered a lot more. Otherwise, if you're in a very hard matchup and you want to have the extra lifesteal, you can go Ravenous Hunter. If you want to go for those early roams, you can go Relentless Hunter. 90% of the time, I do like to take Relentless Hunter just because the added out of combat mobility is pretty good, especially with Talon. And then lastly, we have Ultimate Hunter, which is pretty good for 1v1 situations where you want to be able to get your ultimate as soon as possible so that you can have the kill pressure in lane. But either four works, so it depends on the situation, like I said. And then for the sorcery, pretty much any of these runes can work, but it just depends on the situation and the matchup. So for example, what I like to take most of the time is Celerity and also Water Walking. And the reason why I take these two is because not only does Celerity give me that extra 2% in combat mobility so that I can dodge skill shots and also move around the map a lot faster, but with Water Walking, I'll be able to go through the river and help for those early scuttle fights where the junglers might go for an early skirmish. So not only do I have the 25 base movement speed from Water Walking, I also get the extra AD as well. But other runes can work, such as Gathering Storm for the late game, Scorch for the extra damage in the early game with your W poke. You can go Nullifying Orb if you're against a very hard AP matchup like LeBlanc Zoe. You can also go Manifold Band in certain scenarios where you want to spam your W as much as possible. And other than that, that's pretty much with the runes. And the rune page that you can go on Talon, which used to work a lot back in the day. I know a lot of these Talon players know about this, which is the Phase Rush. Before it used to be Storm Raider Surge, but pretty much when you want to go is Sorcery as the main page for the second one. Take Phase Rush, and then after that you could take either Nullifying Orb or Manifold Band, depending on the situation. I like to always take Nullifying Orb just because most of the time I am playing against a mage or an AP assassin, so definitely take Nullifying Orb. Then after that you want to take Celerity, and then for the last one you definitely want to take Water Walking or Scorch or Gathering Storm, depending on the situation. Just for this video we'll do Water Walking. And then for the second tree, you want to take either Domination, Precision, or Inspiration. Now, Inspiration tree is actually a really interesting one just because in certain matchups it's actually really effective. One matchup that I can actually think on top of my head is the Heimerdinger matchup. So if you take Inspiration, what you can actually do is take Mini Demoralizer and also take Time War Tonic. This will make it so that your early game will not be as punished against someone like a Heimerdinger compared to if you take the full damage setup. So if you take Mini Demoralizer and Time War Tonic, you'll be able to kind of sustain yourself with the extra Corruption Potion duration on Time War Tonic. On top of that, with Mini Demoralizer, you'll be able to have the extra damage so that you can one-shot the wave before Heimer actually punish you on the turret. So all in all, this is actually a pretty good setup, but most of the time I don't actually use this as much compared to the first rune page, which is very heavy damage oriented. So just depending on the situation, like I said, you can either go with the first rune page for the more full damage concept, or you can go with this rune page if you want to go for the more utility or self-sustaining matchup as well. Build setups on Talon that you can actually go for that is probably going to be the most effective for 3 different situations and scenarios. So the first one we're obviously going to talk about is the more classic oriented setup on Talon. So what you want to do is, for the first section, we're going to talk about the starting items. So what you want to do is go Longsword, and you want to place that obviously as your first item, and you also want to go Refillable. Refillable is actually really good now because of the whole early game aspects and stuff like that. And not only that, if you are kind of like, say for example, you're not taking what's it called? You're not having a good trade, or you're playing really poorly in the laning phase. What you can actually do is for your first recall, you can get an extra longsword, and then use that extra 350 gold to actually upgrade your refillable to a corruption potion, so that you'll be able to kind of sustain yourself a little bit better. And because of the mana regeneration on corruption potion, you'll be able to kind of have a little bit of a window to use your W a lot more in the laning phase. So that's only if you are taking a lot of damage. If not, you can pretty much just save your refillables so that you don't have to constantly keep buying health potions every single time you recall. Now, once you actually get a longsword and you have 1200, or not 1250, but if the math is right, I think it's 850 gold, you'll be able to upgrade your longsword into a time mat. Now, time mat is really, really OP right now, and the reason because is due to the fact that because time mat enables Talon to shove out the lane and not actually have a laning phase, he'll be able to shove out the lane and actually go for a roam for free without actually getting any sorts of any repercussions from the enemy mid laner. Now, an example of this is that if I am playing against a champion like LeBlanc or someone that can punish me early, I can just sit in lane and just wait for my CS to come through. And then once I get that 850 gold, I could then recall, get my timeout, come to lane, and then because I'll be able to shove out the lane with my W plus timeout combo, LeBlanc will not be able to kind of like beat me in lane anymore. I could just shove out the lane and now look for a good roam to go for, so that I not only do I not get punished through CS, because obviously I have the better wave clear than LeBlanc, so I'm not going to be hindered by CS or experience, but at the same time, I can then enable the map by going around and looking for roams, or even going to the enemy jungle so that I can find the enemy jungler and actually kill him. So this is the reason why timer is super important. On top of that, timer's damage is actually pretty good as well. So say, for example, you jump in for the enemy mid laner, but you don't actually kill him with your one-shot ability combo, you can then just finish off with your timer active, and it just makes it a little bit more smooth to play. So this is the reason why timer is super good, and which is the reason why you always want to go timer first time every single time. Now, after timeout, you then want to get boots of mobility. It's pretty self-explanatory. Talon is a really good roamer, so definitely having Mobies is super important. So you can just go from mid lane to bot lane within like 10 seconds, and also mid lane to top lane within 10 seconds as well. And because you have Mobies, you have that extra mobility, so that once I do talk about the E later in the video, you guys will understand why this is super important with your movement speed. But because you have that 450 movement speed ability, you faster compared to if you just had tier 1 boots. So this will make it a little bit more better for you in terms of roaming and going for those ganks and flanks as well. Now, once you get your mobies, you want to start gradually going for your first lethality item, which is going to be either Dustblade or Ghostblade, depending on the situation. Now, if you feel like you need more utility and you need more movement speed, then definitely go for Ghostblade. I actually like to go Ghostblade when I know I don't need the extra damage to actually kill someone. So if the enemy team has a very squishy team comp like Lulu, Twitch, maybe Shaco, and then they might have a mid laner who's playing like, Lux or Ziggs, then I definitely don't need the extra damage from Dustblade. And instead, what I can actually do is go Ghostblade for the extra utility with the movement speed, and be able to kind of like be a lot more mobile, especially for the fact that I did mention that Talon doesn't have too much of a good in combat mobility. So it's super important to have that extra movement speed so that you can dodge some skill shots, or maybe go for one shot and then use the movement speed to run away. So it's pretty nice overall. Now, after you get your Ghost Split, you then want to actually get your Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver just makes it so that not only will you have 30% CDR once you build it, you will have 400 HP, the extra movement speed whenever you actually kill someone because of the 60 flat movement speed, if I remember correctly. And on top of that, you do have the extra armor penetration. So everything is going to be nice, and it's pretty much a perfect mid-game item for Talon. So definitely pick up Black Cleaver. After that, you then want to try and go for Last Whisper. Sometimes if you're, say for example, you're going like 15-0, you don't really necessarily need Last Whisper. Instead, you can go for the GA early on, just to kind of protect your lead and just make sure that the enemy team don't go for the shutdown guard, because obviously a couple of patches ago, Riot did actually buff the shutdown guard for the enemy team. So if you're like 10-0 and you do die, they're going to give a lot of gold to the enemy team. So having GA is really nice so that it can kind of cancel that situation out. And also on top of that, if you go for a team fight, you're not going to be too scared of dying because you have GA. So what you can actually do is use your flash, jump in, kill someone. You might die in the process, but because of that GA, within that time period, your teammates can actually come and clean up the rest of the fight, and you'll be able to kind of like come back alive and just pretty much win the game off that. So it's super nice to have GA. But if you don't have GA or you don't really want to build it, you can definitely go Last Whisper for the extra damage if you're, for example, playing against a tank or something like that. And then for the last item, it's either Last Whisper or GA, the item that you didn't buy before. So yeah, that should be 6 items. And then for the situational items, just kind of depends on the situation, I guess. Like I said, you can go something like, Edge of Night. You can also go with the QSS if you're against a champion that has a lot of CC. So someone like Aurelion Sol, Zoe, Elise, Thresh. A lot of champions have CC nowadays, so it's super important to have SS just to make sure that you don't actually, kind of int or get caught by a specific skill shot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, you can obviously upgrade your timer into Ravenous Hydra, which is super good because of the bonus AD synergy with your passive. So once you actually upgrade your Ravenous Hydra and also your Low Dominance Regard, you'll be able to kind of like delete people straight away as soon as you actually find them in the jungle or if you go for a pick. Now that's pretty much the classical setup on Talon done over with. For the second setup is pretty much the off tank setup. So pretty much it's the same first starting items and also the first item, which is Tiamat and Mobies. But after that, pretty much what you're looking to go for is Black Cleaver. You want to also go Titanic Hydra as well. On top of that, because of the star exchange, it makes it a lot more viable to go for now because of the extra bonus AD. So it's super important that if you are going for the off tank, you could definitely go Death Dance, Star Exchange, Titanic Hydra, Black Cleaver, and those are your 4 items done, including your boots, which is your 5th item. And for the last item, you can pretty much go for any item that you feel is necessary. But most of the time, if I am going for that setup, having Dustblade is super good for the extra lethality damage and also the on-hit damage with your passive and your auto attack. So if you can actually proc your Dustblade with your auto attack and have the Titanic auto attack reset, you'll be able to deal a lot of damage, but at the same time keep yourself alive in the team fights with Death Dance, Star Gauge, and also have the extra HP off of Titanic Hydra and Black Cleaver. Now for the last build setup we have, which is the Magic Resistance plus Peel setup, and this is pretty much utilizing Edge of Night, Mercurial Scimitar, and that's pretty much it, and also have Black Cleaver. So other than that, you're just going to replace certain items, but more so the most important items that you have to go on Talon is your Tiamat and Mobies. Once you get those 2 items, it pretty much just depends on whatever you want to build. But when it comes to MR and Peel, you can definitely go Ghostblade, Edge of Night, definitely Hex Drinker because obviously you want to upgrade that to more Marmodius, and also go for the QSS for the extra magic resistance. Plus, certain mages do have skill shots with CC, so Anivia, Zoe, LeBlanc, Elise, like I said before, and also Aurelion Sol and other types of mages as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what the main build setups over and done with. For different summoners, obviously it's 99% of the time it is going to be Flash and Ignite. Now, back before they actually nerfed TP, in certain matchups you could actually go for the Flash TP, especially against those funnel champions like the Tariq Yi strategy. I used to go TP so that I can constantly keep pushing the wave and actually deny them a lot of CS and also go for roams. But because of the extra 60 seconds on TP, it's definitely not a viable summoner to go for anymore. So definitely go Flashing Knight and you should be good to go.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good to me. I tried the phase rush one here. I'm giving that a go.
So level 1, you definitely want to start W as much as possible. There is certain matchups where you can start Q. I used to do that a lot during Season 7 where Thunder lost to 3 and most of the damage were different. But I don't really go Q anymore just because W just provides a lot more than Q itself. I mean, W deals damage and pushes the wave early on. So yeah, W is definitely the first ability you want to go for.
Okay. And after that though, like level 2, level 3, is there a certain path I should be going?
Yeah, so you definitely go W, Q, then E. A lot of Talon or newer Talon players try to make, or not try to make, but they make the same mistake where they try to put 2 points on the W, which is a really bad mistake because say for example you want to be aggressive against the enemy mid laner, so you want to jump with your Q, then your W and your level 3, and you also have a point in your E. Say for example Graves or Shaker or Elise wants to come and go for a gank and actually CC you, it's fine. You could just walk to the next wall and jump over and just be safe without having to blow flash or having to die early on. So if you actually put 2 points in your W, it makes it so that you're going to be very immobile, especially when it comes to ganks to actually escape early on. So definitely go for W, then Q, and then E as your first 3 level abilities. Now in the level 1, pretty much what you want to try and do is just shove out the lane as soon as possible, so that the lane can actually bounce back to you. So if I just use my W, obviously I'll be able to push out the wave. And because most of the time mages have the gimped mana nerf, obviously through patch 8.10 I believe, it makes it a lot more easier to abuse these mages without Lost Chapter. So level 1 to level 6 is your prime time to abuse them as much as possible. Even if you're melee and you do take a lot of poke damage, as long as you dodge skill shots and you actually play the lane correctly with the wave manipulation, you'll be able to actually win most of the matchups anyway. So yeah. And obviously now we're level 2, so I can just jump in like this, auto, and then W, wait for this third proc, and then just proc the passive. And obviously you can see how much damage it's just dealt.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I see how Ignite and all that makes sense.
Yeah, and as you see how the minions are really low, and you're really low yourself. If you use your Q, if you read the tooltip, it gives you HP. If you actually kill a unit. So it's kind of a good sustain, I guess you could say, in the early game, especially if you have Ravenous Hunter and also the Cheap Shot, or not Cheap Shot, Taste of Blood, I think it's called. So if you have those 2 extra runes, it makes it so that you can be a lot more, healthy in the laning phase, and you'll be able to kind of like sustain yourself in the early game as well. So now that we're level 3, this is pretty much where you want to just go in, just go hardcore, go for the aggressive plays, because you have your E right now. So if I jump in, so you are proccing the passive. Make sure to always proc the passive, by the way. It's super important. That's half.
Oh, the passive. Okay.
Yeah. Because if you don't actually proc the passive, you're losing essentially half your damage. Because if you read the tooltip, it's a lot of damage. As you can see, 105 damage at level 4, which is a lot.
Oh my gosh.
On top of the 46 or 40 AD, roughly, depending on the rune page. So that's a lot of damage early game that you're missing out on if you don't proc the passive. So big mistake if you're not proccing the passive. And if you are proccing the passive, you're going to see a lot of work being done against the enemy champion.
Okay. What should we be maxing on Talon?
So what you want to do is obviously max W for the extra damage and wave clear enabler, especially with the timer as well. So definitely match your W, especially for the fact that the WCD actually gets reduced as well. So maxing it is super important. If you look at the other counterparts with Q and E, it doesn't provide you with anything other than reduced CD. So definitely max your W for the extra damage.
Okay, got you. And then after that, you want to max your is it Q?
Yeah, max your Q, then your E, and obviously your ultimate whenever you can.
Okay, got you. So basically the combo is like this. I want to go and I want to W, Q, auto, then bounce away.
Yeah. But the problem is that you need to try and time your auto attack with the second W return, okay?
Okay.
And I'll show you after this wave is
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, so if you just stand here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait, give it a second, then bloody hell, my Q was on cooldown. give me a second,
Yeah, you're good. Don't kill me though.
Yeah. So I'll just wait a few seconds.
Yeah, got you.
I'll throw my W, wait for the second one, and then Q auto.
Oh wow!
And you can do a lot of damage like
that. Yeah, that is disgusting.
So
I like
it's super
that.
important to time your auto attack with the second return of your W, so that you don't actually miss the auto attack passive. Because if you the combo that you just did to me there, it was good, but it wasn't that good because you wasn't able to proc the passive because your auto attack timer was on cooldown, right?
Yep.
So if you auto attack too early before the second W, you're essentially auto attacking before you proc your passive. And if the enemy mid laner is smart, they can use their flash or use their escape ability and actually dodge the passive outright. So super important to time your W and your Q together so that you can actually proc your passive with your auto attack. So if you want to try it with me,
let's try to get this shot this time and mess this up. Alright, so it's literally just W,
and then wait, and then Q auto attack. There you go.
Perfect.
And if you have phase rush, you have the movement speed to run away after that. Especially if you get someone like a Swain or Darius. especially if you're playing top lane Talon. Most of the time, if I'm playing against a Darius or a Renekton, I like to go phase rush, and then as soon as I go for the combo, even if Renekton stuns me or Darius pulls me in, I have that 75% slow reduction, so I can actually just run away peacefully.
Makes sense. It actually makes a lot of sense. I've seen a lot of talents do that too. I never thought. I was like, why are they doing that? It doesn't.
That's why Season 7 Storm Surge was so OP, because it used to give you 40% movement speed and also give you 75% movement speed reduction. So obviously they nerfed it in this Season 8 with 25% instead of 40, but it still gets the job done most of the time. Alright, now that you're level 6, this is where it gets really interesting.
Oh god, here we go. I'm ready.
So with the combo, there's two particular combos that you can actually do with Talon, okay? The most notorious one is the flower combo, which if you've seen most Talon players, they always go for this combo because it not only deals damage, but also it's very efficient and makes it a lot more smooth to do, okay? So what you want to do is you essentially want to W, R, and actually not WR, sorry. You want to W and then Q, and whilst you're in the animation of your Q, you then want to use your ulti and then auto attack. So I know that sounds confusing, but I'll show you. So
Okay.
W, Q, R, and you proc the passive like that with your ulti.
Oh, because your R actually procs another stack onto your bleed, right? Your passive?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So your W, your W, Q, and your ulti will provide one stack of your passive, and your W return and your ultimate return will provide another stack. So essentially, you have 2, 4, 5. You have 5 waves or 5 stacks of your passive, and you only need 3.
Only 3
to get the passive proc, right? So it's a lot more forgiving, especially if you're a newer Talon player, because you have that return of your R and your W, and the initial W and R plus your Q. So I want you to try and do the flower combo. So I'll say it again one more time. W, Q, and then whilst you're in the animation of your leap on your Q, you then want to use your ulti and then just auto attack as soon as you land on top of me, okay?
So is R, it's like a double proc. It's actually 2 Rs. You click R once, you click it again.
No, your ulti, as soon as you auto attack with your passive, your ulti will follow on the target. If you read the tooltip, if Talon cancels invisibility with an attack or knocks you in diplomacy, the blades will converge on the target's location instead.
Okay.
So obviously you're going to Q onto me whilst you use your ulti, not your ulti, but your Q animation. You're going to use your ulti. Okay. So you'll be able to actually get that. You will guarantee that return damage, if that makes sense.
All right. So first time I do is W, and then I'm gonna R.
W.
Then I'm gonna Q R.
W Q, and whilst you're in the animation of your Q, you're then gonna ulti and then just auto attack me.
Oh, okay,
you jump to me, right?
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Let's do this.
Go for it. There you go. That was a little bit. It was a tiny bit slower. Obviously,
yeah.
It was a tiny bit slow, but you pretty much just did essentially the flower.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one I'm gonna show you now is the Hector combo. This is actually a combo that I like to use whenever I have flash up because it's very effective, especially long range.
Okay.
And essentially, what you're gonna do is you're gonna W then flash. Now the reason why you're gonna W first before you flash is because you can essentially cancel the cast animation with flash if you do it correctly. Okay. So this will just make it a little bit more efficient and just makes it a little bit more smoother to do when you're going for an all-in like that. And once you do the W flash, you're then gonna ulti and then go for an auto Q auto in melee range so that you can actually deal a lot of damage with the melee Q. If you actually read the melee the Q tooltip, it says that if cast from melee range, Talon does not leap but instead critically strike, dealing 150% damage. So what you're essentially trying to do is flash right on top of them so that you can go for the Q melee ability or the animation so that you can actually deal 177 damage rather than 130 or 140. So having damage is very important, especially with mid lane as well. If you're trying to secure a kill or if you're going for an extra kill in the laning phase once you get level 6, you can have the extra damage to actually secure the kill. So I'll show you how to do it. So W, flash, then ulti, auto, Q, auto. Okay?
Alright, let's do this. Let's see this.
Alright. And then if you had timeout, you could have procced it and then ignite like that. and they would have died 100%. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's disgusting. I've seen so many talents do that too. I've seen that.
I kind of liked a little bit there, but it pretty much just got the job done. So you're just gonna W, flash, cancel the cast animation of your W with your flash, and then you're going to ulti, and because you're going to be in melee range and you're in invisibility, it can't see you, so you're then going to just auto Q auto. Now, obviously, the enemy champion is not going to just stand there and let you do that for free, right?
No.
So, as soon as you flash and you ulti, right, you haven't used your Q or your auto attack yet, right?
Yeah.
You're going to wait for them to use their mobility, okay? Now, for me,
okay.
So if I'm playing against someone like a Zed, maybe a Katarina that might shump away, LeBlanc with her distortion, Fizz with the Title Trickster. Oh no, Title Trickster, that's his actually, what's it called? That's his tagline. I meant his Playful Trickster, sorry. Pretty much, you're gonna wait for that ability to be used, and then you're gonna initiate with the Q auto or auto Q auto, depending on your range. So this is the reason why this combo is really effective, because not only will you be able to kind of predict where they're gonna be, but if you know they have that that specific mobility spell on cooldown, then you can go for the auto Q auto for the extra damage.
Gotcha,
I'm going to try it on me. So I'll say one more time: W flash ulti, and then auto Q auto whilst you're in melee range against me. Okay.
All right. So W flash ulti auto Q auto.
Yeah.
Too easy. I got this. All right. So
make sure the mouse on top of me so you the right way.
Yeah. All right.
All
So
right, go for it.
which my W moves in range. All right. Cool. I'm gonna fuck this up. I already know I am. Let's do this. All right. So W.
Flash. And then auto Q auto.
Ah, it was so slow.
Yeah.
God. Wait. One more thing.
About-
Ignite. Let's go, dude. Beast mode.
Man.
Clean combo. 2 OP. Oh, that was terrible. That was awful.
Just after that, you're pretty much good to go with your order, and you'll be able to in a span of 2 seconds. So, yeah, that's pretty much it with the combos. You could do a flash flower combo, which is essentially just flashing in range and a flower combo. But other than that, there isn't too much to talk about in terms of combos. Talon is a very he's not that mechanic intensive compared to someone like Zed or LeBlanc. He's pretty easy to play mechanically, but the problem that a lot of Talon players tend to do is the game knowledge and the macro, how to abuse your E, how to abuse your roaming potential with your E. You know, looking at the map and how to go for those all-ins in the early game. You know.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of damage, but it's similar to Yasuo. You know, you're this champion that's like stupid, we don't know how to play.
All right, yeah. All right. So, what about the E? Like, how am I gonna use my E like the right way to use my E? Obviously, I've never casted it yet, so.
Yeah. So pretty much, if you come next to me, come to my part of the mid lane.
Yep.
So pretty much, if you read the tooltip, right, the actual ability itself is on a 2-second cooldown. Okay. So I can jump, and then wait 2 seconds, and then jump again. Okay. You should see a red line on the wall.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Now that wall cannot use for X amount of seconds. Now in the early game, because you don't have CR and you don't have points in your E, pretty much these walls will not be available to you within the next 100 to 110 seconds. So that's a very long time, yes, but most of the time you're going to be laning, so it's not going to really hit you as much. So once you jump over the wall, you're then going to switch to the other side of the map and play from that side of the map, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Say, for example, if Elise comes and actually ganks me, I jump over the wall again, come back to mid lane, keep farming, go for an aggressive play, and if Elise comes again, now I can jump over to this wall and play safe again. So I can jump over the wall here, and then jump over the wall again.
Oh, this is fun. I like this.
Yeah, so even though you don't have much of an in-combat mobility, you do have your E to run away still. So as long as you're playing next to the walls, you should be fine in terms of any ganks that are incoming anyway. And because the enemy jungler knows you're going to jump, he's not going to be chasing you anyway. He's going to think it's pretty useless to do that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's the reason why Talon is really good in the laning phase, is because not only does he have damage, he's also pretty okay in terms of defensive if his wall is up. If your walls are not up, pretty much you're going to be punished a lot more. And this is the reason why having Corruption Potion and maybe Time Tonic and also Timeout is really good in the laning phase, just because you can negate the extra pressure from the enemy mid laner. But other than that, you should be fine anyways.
Got you. Okay.
But there's one thing I also want to talk about with the E, is that necessarily you don't have to jump from point A to point B. Now, I'm standing right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if I jump over the wall, I jump over the wall, like from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to show you something pretty cool.
All
Now,
right.
if you come here, you can essentially ride the wall if you do it correctly. And honestly, it only works with certain walls that have a very long planar wall, if that makes sense. So if you come here, I'll show you. So instead of going from here all the way to behind the tier 2 bot lane turret, you can essentially put your mouse next to this green bush here. Can you see it? There's one right here, right next to me here.
Yeah,
this
this little tiny
green area.
Yeah, okay.
So so what you're essentially trying to do is you're going to put the mouse here and then E, and you get to ride it. I guess you could.
So, is it the top side bush or is like the?
Yeah, top side, that little top side green bit in the middle.
Yeah.
If you place your mouse on it, you can ride the wall.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And you could do it. You could do it here as well. So instead of jumping over the wall here, you could place your wall on this tree here. Do you see the tree?
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Okay, so if I show you right here, so you put the mouse here, and you can just jump like that. So hopefully you can do it. There you go. So it's really good if you're going for those chase kills. So say for example Jinx just flashed away, and you don't want to jump over the wall, but you just want to ride it. You can ride the wall like that. You know what I'm saying? See?
Oh my bad.
So it's pretty good for chasing and also running away as well. If you're trying to go for bot lane roams, or if you're running away, or if you're going for the roam, not roams, but if you're chasing a kill. So that's pretty much it with the E. I could show you some few spots in terms of roaming for bot lane and top lane. So once you push out the lane, essentially you don't want to like not come down here. You don't want to walk here, because the enemy mid laner most likely has a ward, so he knows you're gonna roam. And if that actually happens, he's gonna spam ping. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to come behind this turret where the minions and the walls don't see you.
Okay.
And you're gonna start by jumping over this wall. And you jump over this wall here. I'll wait for you, and then you can jump over this wall here.
Wow.
And you can also jump on top of this wall here, and you can also jump on top of this wall here as well.
This is crazy.
And then you can pretty much go for an all-in combo here if they're pushing in. Maybe it's a Draven Thresh and they're overextending. You can kill them essentially once you get to bot lane. Now another way you can get to bot lane is going through these two dragon pits, as you just did there.
Yeah, my bad. I see.
So if I come down here, I'll show you. So I'll jump over this wall like that. I'll wait for you. There you go. And then you can keep walking, and then jump over the wall here, over the dragon pit, jump over this wall here, and I'm already in bot lane. And look at me, I don't have tier 1 boots, I don't have boots mobility, I obviously I had flash, but if I wanted to I could have flashed. But
yeah, definitely.
You can just get to bot lane within a matter of seconds, especially when there's no minions in the mid lane. When you actually shove out with Timeout, you're not going to be losing that experience or the gold from this, yes? So you're not going to be losing out on too much, you know? Say, for example, the bot lane gank doesn't work out. That's calm. You already used your timeout to push out the wave. You're just going to go to the next wave and just secure that and try and do that process again. Now, there's one more roam that you can also do with Talon, which is essentially jumping from this. We already used this wall, by the way. But what you want to do is you want to come and jump over this wall here, and then you can jump over this wall here. Make sure to jump on this side just so that the whole red line doesn't go all over the place.
Yeah.
So you jump over here.
I don't have the wall just yet. Why is it still yellow? There it is.
There you go. And then this is probably the best way to actually gank bot without them knowing it, is that you're going to stand in this tri-bush, or you can stand right here, and essentially you're going to put your mouse on that second tree. You see there's 3 big trees?
Yeah.
You're going to put your mouse on the furthest right.
Okay.
And then you're just going to jump over the wall. There you go.
Oh, these.
And now you're behind them. So even if they flash, you're in melee range.
Because you have Q2, you just like dash. You know?
Yeah. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to use your Q, because you're gonna be walking up to them and you're gonna use W, and at this point you're boxing them in. So your bot laner is gonna fight them, whilst at the same time you're cutting off their escape route. So the only way they can run away is going this side, and if they do go this side, you're just gonna use ulti, catch up to them, and then use Q, right?
Yeah.
So this is actually a really great way to actually, you know, cut off the escape routes of the enemy bot laner, and also at the same time deal damage to them if they do want to try and run to their turret. And obviously you're playing Talon, you have a lot of damage, you'll be able to actually one-shot them and actually get that clean kill.
Too easy, man. I like this. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it gets for Talon, it's not as mechanically intensive, like I said, so it will only take you, I would say, maybe 5 to 10 games at most. After that, you should be fine. And this is the reason why Talon's so OP, is because he's a champion that's not really that mechanically intensive. So he can get the job done most of the time without actually having to put any sorts of like big work into the champion.
For sure.
Other than what's it called, the macro plays, mechanically in the laning phase you should be fine, honestly. Like there's not too many things you have to worry about or understand what to do. You should be fine on that note.
All right, cool.
Yes, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Is there anything you want to ask me?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm probably gonna remember something while I'm in game, but I think that's good for now. I think we're in a good spot. I get an idea of the champion. Now, am I gonna make a lot of mistakes? Oh, 100%. But that is why you're here, to critique me and just let me know how bad I'm doing. I'm like, all right, cool, got this. Because that's the only way you're gonna improve.
Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah, for most champions, it's going to take you, you know, minimum 10 games, maybe a maximum 50, depending on the champion that you are playing. But most of the time, it's just practice makes perfect, man. You should be fine.
I saw this, I saw Revenge's post about, what was it, pro players and Aatrixx and stuff. And then he made one, like, I think a couple months ago. Someone linked it in the comments, right? Yeah. And it was pretty funny because he said something about how Talon players are all boosted, that like hard stuck masters or something like that. I was like, Talon is not a guy who actually just wins hardcore laning phase. He's a guy that gets everyone else ahead. That's like his main strength, like just roaming. That's why in lane he only has 2 abilities rather than 3. So against assassins matchup, it's mostly skill matchups, but when it comes to out of lane, that's where he actually really shines, you know?
Yeah. A lot of roam potential too. Who should I be banning for your Talon?
Anyone that you want. For Talon doesn't really have any sorts of bad matchups, so you can just ban whatever you want. Yeah, and Nivea's pretty annoying to play against this Talon for sure.
I feel like she could be. I mean, I think early lane phase maybe you could probably take advantage of her, but it's like, eh.
Nah, Nivea's actually one of the best counters for Talon, actually. Because Anivia provides a lot of zone control, especially after level 6 as well. Pre-6, you still have that level 2 power spike, but you know, if Anivia is smart, she'll just save her Q, stun you, let the minions auto-attack you because you're gonna obviously pull aggro, so yeah.
I think we're getting mid. Okay, awesome. I was thinking about dodging if we got top. I was like, 'cause I really want to show mid lane here. That was the idea, but I guess we might be getting it, I think. Wait, Zoe support. Interesting right here. What a game this is going to be.
Ooh, Aurelia Jhin, Vi. That's actually a pretty good setup for Talon. A lot of melee with next to 0 mobility. Vi, Jhin don't really have big mobility. Aurelia has pretty decent mobility with her Q, but she can escape. So once she's in the fight, she's so.
You can just like
as long as you hit your skill shots.
What about her?
Yeah, that's the only thing she can outplay with you. That's why whenever I play against Aurelia, I try to space out my damage because I'm trying to outplay the W, which is like super annoying, but it is what it is. So.
It is what it is. Yeah. So who wins level 1, Aurelia or Talon?
Aurelia wins if you can get her passes stacked up. Otherwise, Talon should be able to push freely. But I think you're against Akali. I'm assuming.
I think so too.
I've never played against you, Akali, so I actually don't know anything about this matchup. I actually don't know anything about this matchup.
I mean, I have on Renekton, but not so much Talon. Well, obviously, it's my first ever Talon game. Right, so
I think the only thing I know about Akali is that her W is just perma stealth, right? Like nothing can see her.
Yep, can't even target her. What do you think about this? You think this is gonna work versus this?
Morgana, Akali. I don't know. You can. I would say go. I would say go nullifying against the Akali, but yeah, actually go nullifying. Yeah, go nullifying. Oh,
Did I make it? Did I make it?
I'm not too sure you did, dude.
I hope so. I mean, if not, I mean, we'll be good, too. We'll be good.
Yeah.
We got this, baby. Hopefully. I mean, I'll probably end up inting. It's all good. Good learning experience.
Mm.
Alright, so it looks like Akali's going Electrocute Precision.
Okay, she's literally going for the all-in potential then.
Oh, nice.
100%. You just wanna okay, so you don't have to actually play the laning phase if you don't want to. What you can actually do is pretty much just go for last hit, and every time she wants to trade, as soon as she last hit, you just throw the W. So then you have 2 stacks to play with, and if she wants to keep on fighting, that's when you jump in and press your Q, right?
Got you.
Otherwise, you could just focus on getting the CS, get 850 gold, get the time at, and just start doing your roaming things and just getting lane priority. Akali's really bad at having lane priority anyway, so you should be fine, I would say.
I do. I know early Akali now. Have you played versus new Akali yet?
I haven't played against Akali now.
I know her level 1's actually quite strong. Her Q actually procs twice, and then she has a range auto attack every time she does an ability, so she gets 2 range auto attacks as well. And that's when she gets her fog or whatever, fog of war. You can't see her.
As soon as I think they changed the aggro system, so as soon as an ability actually hits you, the minion's aggro. So if she uses her Q first on you, you could just press W and just let the minions and your W deal damage, and you don't have to trade back. You should be fine on that, I think.
Yeah. Okay. That should be interesting. So roaming, when it comes down to roaming, I know Morgana and Jhin, they don't really have much escape, but Morgana does have obviously a spell shield and then a binding.
Yeah, if you're looking at the enemy team comp, your win condition is to pretty much just camp bot because they have they have no mobility. Vi is really hard to well, for speaking in Vi's perspective, it's kind of hard to counter gank a Talon and Nocturne.
Okay.
Because they have obviously Talon's really fast at getting to bot lane. Nocturne has a global ult, so overall it should be fine against the Vi, Jhin, and Morgana. I would just say make sure to get control just before you roam, just so you can have map control. Just to see if the Vi is around bot lane or blue buff, and you should be fine.
What is the control word again? I don't exactly buy
the
those.
Pink ward.
What's a pink word? Yikes, dude! I don't know these items. These items are so new to me. I didn't get my
Trust me, man. A lot of people love just buying damage items. I feel you, dude.
Alright,
But yeah, longsword refillable.
Okay.
First item, longsword refillable. Refillable helps out a lot because you can actually upgrade it to corruption potion instead of just keep buying health potions every time and then spending 50 gold. You know.
Oh, definitely. Alright, so where should I stand level 1? Is there a certain spot?
Oh yeah, just rush to mid lane and get into the bottom lane bush. You know, next to the turret. Yeah, that one.
This one. Okay.
I always do that as soon as the game starts, just to protect any sorts of invades. Because if they start walking to that, if they start walking into the river bush, as you can see right there in the middle, obviously you'll be able to see them. So that's why I always stand in this spot. And if they come as 5 anyway, you can either run away or quickly spell up your E, and you can just jump over the wall.
Oh, okay. So I should not get W. Not yet. I should wait. I should hold out on this one.
Yeah. Just that's what I usually do sometimes. I don't like level ability show.
Okay, because you always jump over the wall if someone shows up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like a really good trick for invades as well.
Yeah.
Because if I'm playing against Blitzcrank, I really want to quickly stand in this bush, see if Blitzcrank's there, and if for some reason Blitzcrank is able to hook me, it's fine. I could just flash next to a wall, jump over the wall, or I could just jump over the wall to begin with. Alright, let's get into lane.
Faster or what?
You could show yourself, it's fine. So every time she goes for a last hit, that's your cue to actually hit your W.
So like right there, she's going for the last hit.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect. And you see how Akali can't really retaliate like that? That's like the best scenario for you. Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna get the auto attack.
There you go. And then you can auto, because she doesn't have a Q up. She just used it now, but she wasn't able to utilize her passive. So that's pretty much how you're going to play against this matchup. Even though I haven't really played against Akali, that's pretty much what you're doing. Alright, you're going to get this level 2 right here. You can jump in if you want. Your passive stacks will last for 6 seconds, so you can actually proc your passive like that.
I'm surprised it's still up there, to be honest.
Yeah, it lasts for 6 seconds.
Right there?
Pardon?
Could I have Alden right there? Alden.
Nah. Because they nerfed electrocute and sudden impact and everything, so it's pretty difficult to actually get the level 2 all in straight away from 100 to 0.
Okay.
So at this point, what you want to try and do is quickly push for level 3, and then place a ward on either side and just play around that area of the mid lane. So yeah, as soon as you get level 3 here, okay, so you skill up your E.
Okay.
A lot of Talon players tend to put 2 points in a W, which is really bad because you want to be able to have an escape route. So push this one last minion here. Alright, now you can go for all in if you want. But she has level 3. Yeah, she has level 3. She has level 3. Be careful, be careful.
She's in way too far back. She has also shot, but I think I can still kill her through it. Though.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
If I land my W here, I think I'm gonna go for an all in her. I have ignite too.
So if you're looking to all in here, you gotta be careful that So you gotta be careful with the E and the W.
Okay.
The best time to all in is when she has an abilities on cooldown, for sure. Okay, you can use your W. Nice, well played, dude.
We did it.
Well played. Well played.
Hell
You had the
yes.
minions. You had the minions on your side, which is really helpful against that little all in there. And at the same time, you managed to actually win that just because you managed to hit your double W there. Oh, you gotta be careful.
I feel like a gentle gate could happen in a second. Now I'm really worried.
This is really greedy.
I know. I'm so low. I just want to get the wave something so bad. Alright, I just back a turret actually.
Yeah, you can recall here. It's fine.
Alright, so could I ever? I mean, it's not probably not gonna like over a wall try to get out of like a. I guess. Well, if I show top, we're fine. We're fine. So I
Yeah,
always
so
say
right
next to
now
the
you
wall,
can-
then when I'm backing, so I can always E.
Yeah, that's what I usually do as well. I usually go behind the wall there and then just recall. And then if Vi for, say for example she wants to try and fight you, she sees you, you can just open the wall, flash.
Should I do team at rush?
Yeah, team at rush,
Okay,
100%.
Team at and then control.
You
right?
can, control it, or you can save it for tier 1 boots if you want.
I'll wait for tier 1 boots. See, that's more my style right there. What is a control word? Like, what is that? We don't need that.
Tier 1 boots is going to help you out a lot with
yeah,
in-combat mobility, so 100%.
Alright, so I want to max my Q, right?
No, max your W.
W, okay, gotcha.
Your Q doesn't provide any sorts of benefits other than a cooldown reduction. Your W is going to give you cooldown reduction, extra damage on each level up, and reduce the, actually not reduce, but it's just going to increase the damage overall anyway. But yeah, that was a pretty good burst right there. Is she still in the bush? No, I'm in the bush, on the shroud.
Shadow P.
So yeah, at this point, you're gonna just keep constantly pressing W and time at, and looking to get those jungle invades and just going for those bot lane roams. So right now you have lane priority. So what you want to try and do is just go for them deep wards. Try and see where Vi's gonna be.
What about ward right here? Is a good ward or no?
Yeah, that's a pretty decent ward over there as well.
Okay.
You could jump over the wall here if you want.
Okay.
You could play with Nocturne.
Can I go? That's too risky.
You can wait for the next wave,
I
but
just clear this
their wave just. Yeah, you can use your time at. Yeah, you can use your time at and W. You just gotta be careful. They might come for you right now because you don't have any vision. All right. Ooh, you managed to get binded. Nice.
Wait, I hit another
Nah, Nocturne really messed up there because
he took aggro when I
didn't
wasn't
time-
ready for it. I was like, yeah.
He actually didn't even time his shroud properly with the Morgana Q. He could have actually just survived from the get go.
I think Zoe gets here.
Oh, so
what should I do next?
Mobies.
Oh yeah, Mobies are first thing.
So right now, 6 minutes in, you have your 2 core items, which is super good. So at this point in time, you don't even have to lane against Akali. As long as you push out the wave so you don't actually lose out any sorts of experience and gold, you will always have lane priority right now.
Gotcha.
Especially up until like level 7. That's probably when I'll say Akali will most likely... Oh, you can go in for the Q there if you want. You have your ulti, level advantage. Nice.
If she goes for a player here, I'll go for ulti.
Yeah.
My Q's up
So
in 3 seconds.
remember when I was talking about the flower combo, which was W, Q, R. That's gonna be a main combo
Look
for
for
them
range,
all-ins
right?
with your ulti. When you're in range.
Was not as much
Careful,
damage I wanted to do at all. Well, I'd ignite. Was my knight actually up right there?
Yes, it was actually.
Awesome,
You
thank
didn't.
you.
You
Watch
you
this
could have
though.
actually just not wasted your flash there because you're pretty healthy. 100%.
I have no
you're pretty
idea
healthy
if I
there.
provide damage. I'm like, yikes, am I gonna kill
You
her?
can
Am I
Q
gonna
ignite
kill
here. You can Q
her?
ignite.
I think she just dies off that though.
Then wait, did she actually die to that?
She didn't die off that?
No way.
I thought she
Okay,
would.
she survives. Yeah, she survives. But yeah, you could have actually queued Ignite there because you had the bigger range. They actually buffed Talon's Q range quite a while ago. I think it was like several patches ago. So yeah, it would have been a pretty decent kill there.
Don't be too greedy here. It's not really a good play for me to make this.
You should just recall. Just you pretty much have nothing to do here.
Yeah,
So what you can actually do is push out the next wave if you want.
right now?
That wave there. Actually, no. The cannon wave's coming next anyway.
You know longsword here?
Yeah, longsword.
You go
Right now, you could go Hexdrink if you want, just to be safe against Akali. Otherwise, you can just go rush Soreti Dirk into Dustblade or Ghostblade, depending on your playstyle. Obviously, they nerfed Dustblade, so having Dustblade is actually gonna help you out with your all-ins.
Gotcha.
Unlucky for Riven. Yeah, she's fine.
I
Okay.
have no ulti right now.
So yeah, so what you want to do is just push. You want to just make sure to secure the wave. You don't have to freeze the lane at all if you want. Yeah, there you go. So now you can jump in there. There you go. You have minion advantage. You're fine. There you go. A lot of pressure like that. Okay, I don't know what she's doing. W, you can all in. Oh, never mind. The W didn't hit there.
Next proc, I would have gone for that. I didn't say an auto
you
knock
have
off too. I keep
you have kill potential right now. You have a lot of kill potential. Her shot is down. She doesn't have flash, so you should be fine on the next all in.
Gotta see us better though. Oh my gosh. We go for it.
WQR. That's your main combo. WQR. Okay, never mind. Just run away. Okay, you can all in. Holy moly. Alright, run away.
Let's go, T-Mac!
Oh, actually, yeah, that was. Oh my god, I actually didn't expect you to win that because she had a passive up. The little rolling blade that she just had. Because I still don't know how to play against Akali. I'm not sure.
Should I go for the all-in on her?
I think she has an ult up. But you can try. W. Q. Meta Q.
My Q didn't proc! It didn't proc. Oh, I
No,
didn't
it procced. The passive procced. You just didn't deal enough damage. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It felt like she leveled up there.
What the heck? I took an auto attack. Maybe. Oh, yikes.
You can get Soreti Dirk now. You have enough gold for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Were you going to go for lethality or the CDR one?
You could just go Dustblade because they did nerf electrocute, so having extra damage is actually pretty good to go for now.
Should I go for Dirk or should I go for Warhammer?
Dirk.
Dirk. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
More damage.
Yeah, definitely.
Akali dealt so much damage there with her second ult with the execute there. I thought she was gonna kill you.
It's pretty strong. Okay, so yikes, dude. Oh, well, we got that Infernal though too. It's so nice for Talon as well. Alright, so I did see.
So right now you definitely have an experienced lead.
Yeah.
So what you can actually do is just push out the wave, get some pressure in the lane, and you can just go for roams if you want. You don't have to constantly keep on killing Akali unless she wants to just int. But yeah. Oh, by the way, make sure to proc your passive as much as possible. It's basically half of Talon's damage. So I know it was pretty difficult to do that right there, but it's really crucial that you actually proc your passive. 2 seconds, you can all in here.
I see my Debbie, right?
RQR. RQR? There you go.
I didn't even know.
Nice.
Yikes. I didn't want to ult. I didn't think I had to. I was like, I think I get her regardless. And if Vi comes mid lane though, I still have my R2, so I can always just run away. I have Nimbus close as well. Keep pressuring here. They literally just cleared the map. My team played really well right there. Is there ever time to take jungle camps? Like I'm talking like.
Yes. So if you right now you have 4 kills, 2 deaths, right?
Yeah.
And you have about I'd say 7 CS per minute as soon as you get this, yeah. So at this point in time, you can actually clear camps and also clear out your wave in between the minion creeps, right? So every time, you can kill her here. You have ulti. Don't be afraid.
Oh,
there you go.
I didn't even
Nice.
team at. Wow. Wait.
Oh, he's gonna kill you. Oh my god.
Holy crap, that was close. What if I stole that red buff too before she got the
Dude, if you
experience?
stole that red buff for the experience, I would
Oh my god, I'd have been sick. Nice though, man.
So yeah, right now you got 5 kills to your name, 2 deaths,
Yeah.
you know, 70 CS. You're doing pretty good right now.
This shape is fun, dude. I enjoy this. I suck ass at him, but I'm
Controlled.
Okay, what's that? Wait for my health back, and let's go. I think Silver's catching mid wave. Should I ever be actually split pushing? Shouldn't I at this point in the game?
I mean, the laning phase isn't over yet. I think bot lane might rotate top after taking top lane turret. So
they're actually trying to make that rotation.
what?
No,
Does she want to stay mid? If she wants to stay mid, you can just go bot for the solo experience.
Bot is slow pushing to us. I'm actually gonna make a play here. Oh, I can probably kill them both.
Yeah, you can make a play here, but the thing is you don't have ult to play around it. So you could jump over this wall here. I know Jin's ult is down. Oh, she got the drowsy. You can go for this. You can go for this. Did she? I don't think she queued yet. Never mind. Electric is gonna get that kill for you.
I read the
Keep autoing. Keep autoing. Keep autoing. Keep output. You got Q. You got Q. Q W. There you go. Nice.
Hey, let's go, baby.
Dude, you're popping off this game, man. So at this point in time, you just want to try and get solo experience. You have a lot of kills. You have a lot of gold right now. So the number one thing you want to try and prioritize is pretty much just go for split push plays and just try and garner a lot of pressure for yourself. Oh, and you have your ult. Yeah. Jump in. You have your ult. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. She has no shroud. She's gonna die here.
No! That was my kill! Ah!
But yeah, Akali pretty much just overextended there.
Yeah,
pretty easy kill.
I'm too strong for her to be doing that. Okay.
I think Vi can actually kill you here if she hits a Q, so just be careful. Okay, nice. You can go for this if you want. If Nocturne helps. So you just cleared out mid lane. You can take camps if you want. Wolf is here.
So I really
take that.
It looks like. I can't.
Oh, Aurelia's here. You gotta run. It's not worth it. Not worth it. Blue buff's up as well.
But we're seeing at least camps though, regardless.
Yeah. So a lot of free information for your teammates.
Exactly. I want to just back on this vision. I want to make sure they at least.
Just recall. You could just recall from here.
But they tried it all in Riven. That's why it's like, yeah. But they're gonna go for these camps now. That sucks. I really made a nice rotation. If she didn't rotate, I could have probably done something with Riven, but oh well. I don't think we win that 2v2.
So you want to go Dustblade into Black Cleaver?
Black Cleaver. Gotcha.
Yeah. You just want to be a little bit tanky, have the armor penetration, movement speed, health, you know, all of those stuff, you know.
Okay.
CDR. Now you could go for Ghostblade if you want, but obviously having Black Cleaver will just help you out a lot in general.
Gotcha.
5 seconds on your ult here, you can jump in. 2 seconds. Alright, you should be able to all in here. Go for it. RQ. I think she has a E, right? Nice. Good job.
That's not too bad. I didn't even team out there. I kind of knew my damage had her though with Ignite.
Yeah, I'm kind of understanding the playstyle now. So as soon as Akali doesn't have Shroud, she's pretty much a sitting duck for you to kill.
Oh, exactly. She can't sit in the Shroud because I'll literally kill when she comes out of Shroud too.
Yeah, her only outplay potential is a Shroud. Oh, you can jump over the wall here.
Wall, right?
Yeah. You got Mobies, Oh my god.
I played that really bad. Oh no, I queued instantly because I want to get on top of him, but like, yikes. My bad, Renekton coming back in, and I'm like, I gotta get on top of the guy. No, I need my passive.
Oh, I just realized you had Flash.
Yeah, I fucked up really hard there. Oh well.
There might have been an outplay potential there. If you flashed the root, would have been
sick. True. I should have flashed that. Yeah.
You can upgrade Phage. You want to get one control at least, because at this point in time, you really want to try and split push.
Yeah.
So a lot of what a lot of Talon players tend to do, especially in lower elos, is that they keep constantly going for kills. So you don't have to actually do this. What you can actually do is just go bot lane, preferably, because obviously bot lane will allow you to let your teammates Baron and take mid inhibitors and stuff like that. And by doing so, you'll be able to bot lane, split push, gather a lot of pressure, and this makes it so that it has to choose you or the enemy or your team. So
Gotcha.
A demo for everyone.
We don't have Nocturne here. You think it's a good idea? That's what
You could, as long as you control it. Oh, just kill Vi. You have all in then. You have all in damage. Use your ulti. Wait for a second. There you go. Dustblade. There you go. Nice.
Ooh, wait.
So
no.
Oh, you gotta run away. Oh, nice. You didn't even have to just walk out of the range.
Yes.
Alright, nice. Zoe with the
Zoe,
holy moly.
Wait, I can't.
Wait, Zoe had a smile? Why she don't just smite?
Wait, she smite?
She had the smite from Vi.
Oh yeah. I hate Zoe. What a champion. What a champion that is, you know? Alright. Is there ever a case where Triforce makes sense?
Yeah, actually, if you're like 10-0, Triforce isn't a bad item. It's just that it costs a lot of gold, you know. You got Black Cleaver that costs 3,000 gold, whereas Trinity Force is 3,800, right? So
yeah.
It's just very difficult sometimes. I mean, I would say the only time to go Trinity Force is if you're like 12-0 and it's like,
Gotcha.
and everyone's just steamrolling the enemy team, you know?
So it's more, it's like a troll build if you're gonna do it. It's like, cause it doesn't. I could see how it can make sense because of like, I mean, you have on hit and be.
No, it makes a lot of sense if you're ahead, but if you're behind or even, it's such a bad item because it just costs too much gold.
So I should be shoving this out or rolling mid.
Yeah, just keep shoving, and you have a control ward, so you want to place it in the tri-bush in front of you.
Okay.
And this makes it so that you can split push without any source of pressure.
Oh,
Here or next to you. You
Should I
see
put it
behind
here,
you,
or what do you think?
behind you, next to, behind you.
Yeah.
You know the Trinity, the tri-bush.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you just place it there. You'll be able to see any sorts of wards and see if anyone's coming for you. And then you can use your ulti defensively to run away.
Okay.
You can jump over the wall and be safe. So yeah, at this point in time, someone has to come and
Rotate anybody,
you know,
okay.
protect this. But look at them. All of them are all going for for kills.
Yeah, they're not
And this is
moving.
where Talon really shines at low elo. You could take objectives for free and cause a lot of pressure on the map. You see how they see? Look, they just went for a 1-for-1 trade or 2-for-1 trade. But look at you. You're getting free solo experience and you're getting turrets for your teammates, which is global gold. So everything's working out fine. Even though your support and jungle just died, you're causing a lot of pressure. Now everyone has to come to bot lane, right?
Yep.
And at this point in time, you really want to try and recall here, run away
Gotcha.
by looking at the map.
I'll start looking
See if
for
anyone's
camps real quick, right? I mean, they're all just back, so I might have like a chance and opportunity maybe go for red.
By the way, when you recall, make sure to upgrade your trinket. You don't want to roll yellow trinket anymore. Either get blue trinket for extra vision around key objectives or making sure you don't face check. Or you can go sweeping lens if you want to try and go for picks.
Okay.
Oh, Riven with the
I
solo
have
kill.
black clear on as well. Is there ever a chance to like go on this guy or no?
You can actually go for the all in here. Wait for her to use her abilities.
The Q's
There
right
you go, jump in. You can jump in if you want. Yeah, she has no energy now. You can pretty much just go in. Ulti. Ulti, you have ulti? Nice. Easy
I think
peasy.
Aatrixx, I don't think I have.
Alright, Morgana's there. She's probably gonna most likely R before she uses Q. Yeah, she's gonna kill you here.
Nope.
Oh, what?
Nope.
Wow, I thought she ignited you.
Come on, Talon main. I thought she did too.
Dude, I thought she had ignite. Does she have ignite? Check.
Does she
Or
have
is it
ignite?
exhaust?
Yeah, she does. She's probably just down.
Wow.
So everybody's showing here. There's 3 guys here. One guy. I might be able to get one more wave to get it completely shoved in. I know it's a little.
Yeah, if
easy,
you
but
if
I see
if you want to be
opportunity
greedy,
to get it,
if you want to be greedy and take the extra wave, you can. But most of the time, obviously in high elo
Oh
plays.
yeah. I just saw Vibe mid. I'm like, I think I'm okay.
Mm.
She ain't gonna be able to rotate fast enough. Plus comes out to I do have Moby. So we have Black Cleaver. What should we go for next?
You can actually go for GA actually if you want.
GA. Ooh.
GA will
Ah,
actually
should
help
save-
you out because it will makes it so that you have pretty much can protect your gold lead because you don't want to obviously give a shutdown
Oh
gold,
yeah, I got big. I got
especially
big
when you're
guys,
split
but-
pushing,
have
and you can
two
also make
Infernals
outplay
too, so-
potentials. If they all go for bot lane to try and kill you with GA up, you pretty much have ways to outplay them because you pretty much have 2 lives, right?
Yeah.
So so you can actually buy your teammates a lot of time, like a lot of time.
Gotcha. I got my 14. I am the highest level in the game too, so I should be able to 1v1 anybody on the map.
Yeah, and this is all because you've been split pushing.
No, exactly.
And you know how they kept going for kills?
Yeah.
Literally, it's the same playstyle as Renekton, you know? You
Yeah,
get a
it really
lead, you
is.
just split
It's very
push,
similar.
easy peasy.
Yeah. Okay. And then the
So this
cooldown,
is a huge
obviously,
wave
yellow's
for you.
about to come back up. Not to have that jump.
Mm.
Alright, so I got it pushed in. There's a lot of guys missing right now.
Yeah,
going
just,
on?
by the way, you need to upgrade your trinket as soon as
I keep
possible.
forgetting, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's all good, don't worry about it. You can kill her with the ult movement speed.
So everybody's over there. She's kind of low. If she stays, she dies regardless.
Yeah, you can take this turret for free. They can't really test you. Alright, she used Zonya. You're
Wait.
tanking.
Wait! What? I'm sorry.
It's all good, bro. I actually thought you got out of turret range.
I thought about R would take it. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought R. I don't, bro. I don't know, man. When I R, I was like, okay, now it's like an aggro, but it doesn't work that way. I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm not a
maybe
collie.
it would be better for you to get QSS, huh?
I don't know, man. I just can't be dumb. The more you know, right? Yikes. Yikes, dude. This is the first champ I ever played with like an invisibility, so it's like, ooh.
Oh, invisibility? Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm dumb. My bad.
I mean, I used to be a Shaco main, so I've been playing a lot of stealth champions way back.
That was really bad. I'm so boosted. Alright. Morgana's got really...
You can get a stopwatch actually if you want now.
War, we're getting blue trinket, right?
Yeah, blue trinket or super lens. Actually, blue trinket because you're split pushing a lot. You're not really going for picks. And then get for this, yeah.
Can I set up these walls or no? I can't.
Yeah, you can put most structures like Nexus turrets, turrets, walls. What else? Yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much it.
I'm my rotator, but I'm still going bot side regardless.
Yeah, you can.
There's a potential play here.
You could, yeah, go for buy, yeah, go for buy. They're really going hardcore for your teammates. Oh, Jin's free. Ulti, if you want. Flash, ulti. Q, nice.
I should've gotten this guy.
Shot
I think I had that guy in the bag.
That was really weird on Jin's part. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. But yeah, you guys can just run it down mid now at this point. You can jump over the water tree, kill Morgana. Make sure to outplay with your flash and Zhonya. Zhonya, if you want. Actually, never mind. They're not gonna kill you. You can keep chasing. Aurelia's free to take. Nice. Alright, you could go for the inhibitor now, and then you can rotate to Baron. So what we're trying to do is, as soon as you get an inhibitor, you want to try and tell your teammates that, okay, look, I'm gonna go split push. If they come for me, you go for Baron.
I'll do a little more damage than that. I was like, do one auto tag off.
It's all good, don't worry about it. You have a lot of damage at this point in time, so they're either gonna flash away or just be scared of you. This is where Talon's big pressure spike comes in. It's when he gets a lot of damage into the mid game.
I'm just seeing if there's anything up right now.
This is really smart, by the way. Free experience.
Yeah, I just feel like they're all pretty much up right now. Like the first rotation would be Baron.
So yeah, like I said, just split push bot. If anyone comes bot lane, they are free, uncontested, and if they do go for Baron, you could just go for the kill here. Nice. But yeah, like I said, if you do go bot and they come for you to try and secure a kill on you, that will allow your teammates to do Baron for free, and otherwise you could just take a free turret. You can go for the ulti player. Ulti. Auto attack. You gotta learn how to auto attack.
I know, I keep forgetting the auto attack every time, dude. Oh, I keep casting my abilities, but I've literally let go of so many autos. Make sure Q's right now.
Nice.
I don't watch out.
Alright, not bad. But yeah, like I said, auto attack's super important for your passive.
She's spamming.
You don't.
Ignite up this time. I don't matter. I just couldn't.
You don't have enough mana for your Q, so.
Oh mana, yikes. There's so many things I still need to work on regardless. Like, obviously, I keep forgetting auto attacks. Rotation, it's like, it's just, I guess, obviously, first time playing this champion. That champion is really fun to play, though. I really do enjoy this champion.
Talon, for me, is like Twisted Fate, but early game.
Twisted Fate, but...
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, Twisted Fate is super strong late game because he has a lot of damage and he has the teleport ability, right?
Yeah.
But with Talon, he can roam and have a lot of damage early on. So, instead of Twisted Fate being kind of bullied in lane most of the time, you're playing someone who can actually do stuff for free and have lane priority.
Okay, that makes sense.
For your next item, you can go QSS, Edge of Night, Ghost Blade,
I'm gonna do
anything that floats your bloat.
Yeah, let's do Edge of Night here. Let's get this.
You can also go Stairs Gauge now because of the passive change to it, which gives you bonus AD instead, so it's not
really
much
nice
of a...
too, though, honestly. It'll keep
Yeah,
my lead a little bit
and
too.
Death Dance as well if you want. There's a lot of items you can actually get this game if you want.
No, that makes sense.
Just depends on your price because I know Death Dance costs like 3,400, which is a lot of gold for an assassin.
So, okay, how good is Talon's base attack damage? Do you know?
It's insane, actually. He has one of the highest base ADs in the game. I think at 68, if I remember correctly.
Maybe we just do it.
So you should be really strong throughout the game, even to late game. The reason why Talon falls off compared to most other assassins is that the other assassin starts to come online, right? Talon has a lot of early game damage, which means he's stronger most of the time. But if you're playing against someone like Zed, maybe Fizz, Echo, you know, as soon as they get their Lich Bane, their Death Caps, their, you know, their Duskblade, etc., that's when they start to come online. But you're online before then, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So that's the reason why Talon's super strong early, but he doesn't actually fall off late. People just assume he falls off late, but he doesn't actually. It's just that the other assassins now have their items, so it becomes more of a skill 1v1 duel if you're trying to go for a 1v1 player.
I think we're just in the game, maybe.
But yeah, your teammates are doing really great actually.
Oh yeah, they're doing great. I got lucky with my teammates.
Yeah, but I know, but you did a lot of work this game, man. For someone that's playing Talon for the first time, you're playing insanely good.
Thank you.
A lot of experience, split pushing. Even though you were going a lot of kills early on, you managed to kept split pushing and just trying to play the objective game. Obviously, this is League of Legends, so you know it's not all about trying to 1v9 24/7.
Oh yeah. I don't want to go any deeper because it's kind of risky. There are 2 guys in this.
You should be able to kill Aurelia if you can get your Black Cleaver stacks and ignite. Ignite. There you go. Easy.
Wasn't really clean, obviously.
I just wanted to ignite because I felt like Aurelia might have been able to heal there because I think of her passive, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I probably didn't need to R there. I just.
No, you needed to R because of the W damage reduction.
Yep.
Super important. Does she have Aatrixx? Can you check?
She does.
Yeah. So yeah, having ulti was super important there. Oh, you could go for this kill here. You have GA. Don't be afraid. Morgana's in base. Duskblade, proc. If you can auto attack.
Yeah.
Okay, you have GA. Don't be afraid. Your ulti's coming up.
2 stacks on these
Ulti as soon as you come back alive. Ulti as soon as you come. Okay, never mind. I just got blown up by a support Zoe. Nice game, Riot. Blown up by a support Zoe, man. You see,
yeah, I know, right?
God damn, man. Oh, that Nocturne's going hardcore for Jin. Feel sorry for him. You can go for this. Ulti. You might as well secure the win. Hey, let's get it. GG. 3 wins. Oh, jump of the Nexus. Nexus.
Wait, it doesn't matter if the turn's dead!
Oh. The ignite though, man. Yeah, that was a really good game, dude. I'm really proud of you, man.
Oh my gosh.
If there's any sorts of what's it called, mistake or not mistakes, but things you could have improved on, I'll just say try and split push early on just to improve your CS as well. Obviously because CS will get you a lot of gold rather than going for kills constantly and then maybe dying. But other than that, you played this game really well. Laning phase was pretty good. Played around Akali's cooldowns, which was nice. Split pushing and roaming, which was actually pretty good bot lane when we got the Jin and Morgana. And yeah, and other than that, there's pretty much nothing left to talk about with Talon. Other than that, he's a very simple champion, but hard to master, if that makes sense.
Oh, I can definitely see the hard to master part. Definitely see.
Yeah.
Guys, huge shout out to Aatrixx. Again, he's helped out so much. I had no idea about Talon. That's just insane. I did not know what you could do with this champion.
Yeah, pretty much. So there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't actually see when playing Talon. They only just see the damage, which, to be fair, it is a little bit bonkers. But you know, most of the time, when you actually get to play a specific champion, you actually get to see all these mechanical outplays, also the macros, and also out of lane movements. But yeah, pretty much, you should be good to go. Hopefully, with Talon. Next time that you actually do play a champion with Talon. But if you guys actually want to check out my channel, you could definitely go on the YouTube link. Links will be in the top of the screen or something like that. Obviously, youtube.com/C/Aatrixx. And most of my content revolves around educational, but also some entertaining gameplay commentaries as well. So if you're that kind of person that wants to actually learn how to play mid lane, or you want to learn how to play Talon, Fizz, Zed as well, definitely come check out my channel.
If you want to teach me a champion in the next video, just comment below or just email me. Thanks, guys.